Hi there, my name is Eli, and welcome back to my channel, Draculija. And it is June, which means it is Pride Month, and I wanted to celebrate Pride Month on this channel by doing a fun, special project. So, my Frankie Stein in the front and center with these terrible bangs that I gave them, I want to reroot their hair, and I'm going to do a fun rainbow reroot. Don't worry, it'll look good. I know rainbow can sound terrible, but like I'm gonna make it look amazing. Just you wait and see. And it's gonna be a fun little restyle reroot project. I might paint some accessories. I have this outfit right here from Rainbow High, Junior High, Avery Styles. I love this outfit, but I didn't love the base doll. So this was actually my inspiration for this whole video, was this little simple outfit. I saw this outfit and thought, I think Frankie, would slay in this. And I've been wanting to reroot this Frankie for two reasons. Number one, they were my first Generation 3 Frankie Stein doll that I got, so they're very sentimental to me. And number two, their hair has severely, severely yellowed. You can see next to this newer Frankie that I have, the difference in the hair color. The yellowing is much more apparent when they're next to other Frankies, and I like to display my dolls by character rather than by series, so they definitely stick out like a sore thumb on my shelf. So I think giving them a new head of hair and then just giving them a whole new like Pride themed makeover will be really fun. And funny enough, Frankie's actually supposed to be getting a Pride themed doll. The doll is called Welcome Committee Frankie, and I think it kind of ties in with like Fear Book, kind of like the school clubs. And when I was in high school, oh my gosh, I don't even know if this still exists, but there was a GSA club, the Gay Straight Alliance, and my closeted ass went to the club. Like, baby, be real with yourselves, be honest. But I went to the club, and I think it's fun. I think it's important to have those spaces on high school campuses. And Frankie, they're running that club like the damn military, let me tell you that, okay? So I can't wait for that doll. That doll is beautifully designed and a lot more tasteful in its execution of a Pride theme than probably what I'm going to do here today, but that's okay. We can have a tasteful version and then my version, which will be beautiful and delightfully tacky, which I love. And my inspiration for their hair is actually going to be taking inspiration from this Frankie Stein doll. So I love this classic Frankie Bump It. That's why I brought out my pre-production Frankie. So I want to recreate this hairstyle on this doll right here, except in like a rainbow colorway. So you know how this is white with black streaks? Instead, we're gonna do black hair with rainbow streaks. And I think that rainbow Bump It is going to look really good. At least I hope it does. We'll see by the end of this, right? So that's the game plan. Here's the hair I'm using. I have some saran hair, obviously. I have black. And I also have 6 colors of the rainbow. We got red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. I'm kind of cutting out indigo. Sorry, indigo, but we're just rocking 6 colors of the rainbow today, and I think it'll look really good. I really, really do. So stay tuned and wait for the results at the end, and let's get this project started, shall we? Oh, also, this Frankie on the left has the updated longer neck, which you can see does so much for them, and they're like silhouette in their shape, because here the shorter neck like cuts their proportions off and their silhouette off. Like, it just looks a hot mess. So I think this outfit, because it has more of like an open neckline, it will help this doll not look so squished. I hope. We'll see at the end. That's also, I think, one of my goals, because I like the long necks, but I have tons and tons of short neck Monster High dolls, so we gotta make do. We gotta make do. Okay, now for real, let's get started. Okay, now to prep Frankie for the reroot, I'm going to take off all of their clothes and accessories and just set them aside. That way when I start prepping them and cutting off all of their hair, it doesn't kind of, none of those hair follicles get caught in the clothes. That would suck. So now that I'm doing that, I'm going to cut off their saran hair. And it's sad because it's still really nice hair. Like, it still feels soft. It's just discolored. So that's why they are my rerooting subject of the day, just because I have so much sentimentality with this doll and I want to breathe new life into them. And it was even satisfying to cut off their bangs. I hated these bangs. I really tried to salvage them, and I think they look okay, but I don't know. I don't know. They're not my favorite. They're experimental for sure, and eclectic, but maybe in the future I'll try to revisit them on another doll and hopefully execute them better, but this hair's got to go. And then once that's all done, I will, okay, actually I forgot to show a clip of it, but I heated up their head with a hairdryer so I can soften it and then yank it off of their body. That's how we went from head on body to head not on body. And then I take a flathead screwdriver to scrape out all of the plugs. That does take some time, and it did feel weirdly difficult on this doll. Maybe because they have saran and I'm just so used to working on polypropylene hair, I don't know. But after a couple minutes of me struggling, I got all of the hair scraped out. And then I just took some tweezers and pulled out all of the loose hair follicles from inside the head. And once I made sure that all the hair was pulled out, we were good to go and move on to the next step. You can kind of shake the head around to make sure they're all, all the hair is out and you don't hear anything. So, okay, now I had really, really thick holes on this doll's part line. So to tighten those holes up a little bit for the reroot, I take some boiling hot water and dunk the head in it for like 30 seconds. And the hot water will tighten the vinyl on the head and shrink those holes. That way when I reroot some hair in there, the hair is a little bit more snug and a little bit tighter. So it's less prone to falling out of the head. So that's why I do this step right here. Okay, I've now prepped Frankie's head for the reroot. I'm gonna wipe off the white paint with some acetone probably, and then I'm going to do the bulk portion of the reroot, like the black hair, real quick off camera, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how I'm gonna do the rainbow section. So let's get started. Okay, so I have caught up on Frankie's reroot. Well, not caught up, but basically done everything but like the fun parts with the color and then the part line. So you can see there, I still have to go through and do their part line, and then I have to do the rainbow perimeter of their head, but like the bulk, like the chunk of just the black hair is done. So now I can move on to the more, meticulous fun stuff. And I was counting Frankie's plugs on this doll for this bump it section to see how I wanted to section out the hair and go about doing this hairstyle. And there are 26 plugs across this hairstyle here. So, and then I counted the black streaks, and I think there's 13 black streaks. So I'm actually going to do something different with the colors that I have, because I have 6 colors, right? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. And I'm going to expand that color spectrum and blend the colors to create in-between shades, so we can fill like this whole section with like the spectrum of the rainbow. Hopefully any of that makes sense. You'll see once I start this project what it looks like and what I'm talking about, but I just thought the whole bump it being like one complete color spectrum is a lot more aesthetically appealing than starting off and ending and then restarting like halfway through the bump it. So that's what I'm gonna do instead. I think it'll be fun. It's not what I planned, but I like to adjust my plans according to what I think looks best and creative fun ideas that I come up with. So that's the game plan. I've already slightly marked the section of where the hair begins and ends on this doll with some pencil, so you can see right there and right there. I'm gonna start off here, and then we're gonna work around and meet at the end, like right here. So however the colors meet up, whether they meet up perfectly or not, it doesn't matter. They'll just kind of meet in the back of the neck. So that's the game plan. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so to do the rainbow section on this doll, it is a lot of coordinating, making sure that I have all of my hair organized. Off camera, you couldn't see this, but I had all 6 colors already like prepped out for me to section out the hair. This tiny little workspace that I'm capturing on camera isn't accurately really showing like how much I had to get set up for this particular reroot. It required a lot more space than I usually demand, because I'm usually not working with 7 colors at a time. Usually I'm working with 2, 3, maybe 4 colors at a time. So this section in particular was very, very daunting and difficult, but I really like the way it turned out in the end. I'm really, really happy with the end results. And we are alternating, black with rainbow. So I do a little bit of the black right here in the beginning, but after this, I'm only going to focus on the colored rainbow sections. So just assume that I'm alternating and putting the black in. I do that off camera, but I just don't need to keep showing it because it's less interesting. I really want to focus on how I do the rainbow section. So for me, on the left side of Frankie's Bump It, I wanted to start off with blue. And traditionally, you probably think to start off the rainbow with red, right? Like red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, right? But I don't know. I chose to start with blue because Frankie's kind of secondary, primary accent color, whatever you want to call it, in Generation 3 is blue. So that's what I picked. I wanted to look fun and special and different, so that's what I went with. And I'm starting off with the blue and purple plugs. Those can go in the head easy because they don't need to be blended, right? But after those plugs, we have to start blending some colors together. And the first colors that need to get blended are the blue-purple color blend. Now, the color, or not the color, but the shade of purple that I picked for this reroot is very, very vivid, right? Almost like eggplant or grape. That's kind of the shade of purple. And I like it, right? Because it feels very true to the color. But I think next to black, it kind of gets washed out a little bit. It's a little too dark in hue. And part of me wishes I chose maybe a different shade of purple, something a little bit more lavender or lilac leaning. I don't know. I feel like maybe it would have popped a little bit because on this reroot, when you look at it, the red purple section of the reroot is a little bit dark and sometimes looks a little bit muddled. I still like it, but yeah, I think this purple is just a tad bit too dark. But there's me blending the blue and purple colors together. How I blend the colors is I section out a full-size blue hair plug, and then I section out a full-sized purple hair plug. Then I will blend them together and then section it back out into 2 strands of hair. And to blend it, I'm just taking the end of my rat tail comb and folding the hair over each other and then combing it out to blend it. And making sure that I'm not ruining the consistent hair length between this plug. And it's a lot of effort. It takes a lot of time. I probably cut out 3 or 4 clips of me folding the hair over each other. Just for time's sake, but it does take a little while to blend out the hair, but it's worth it for this project. It's worth it because I'm working in small quantities. And I've mentioned this technique now multiple times on my channel, but I just love it so much because you're able to get really, really fun colors in small quantities that I think normally would be difficult when you think of blending hair in the traditional sense, right? By blending hair in huge chunks and large quantities. But you can blend hair in small quantities for specialized projects such as this one. So yes. And next I've sectioned out some red hair. We're moving on to our red and purple blend. This might be one of my favorites. It's a very Bordeaux wine kind of maroon color. Which I really, really love. Kind of reminds me of the recent Ultimate Secrets Series 4 Draculaura. It's a little bit too red and less pink like that Draculaura is, but I don't know. It's just a beautiful, beautiful hair color. I really love it. And this is the whole process, right? It's going to be 12 colors in the rainbow. 6 are easy because they don't need blending, but the other 6 are not as easy. And something I'm not showing here is, I'm sectioning out these blended colors into 2 plugs. And for this specific section that I'm filming and showing you, I'm only requiring 1 plug. The other plug that I'm blending, I am setting it aside to use later down the road. And that also takes a lot of coordination to keep track of this hair. It's a lot of effort. There's a lot going on off camera that you can't see. A lot of space that I'm requiring for this project that I don't normally require, but I want to mention that because it's those small little things that I don't mention, that when you're watching or you want to attempt something like this, you're like, what is he doing? Where's all this extra hair going? It has a home. It's going somewhere else off camera. Do not worry. There's the red hair. The red looks pretty good. And next we move on to orange. I love this shade of orange. So for this specific rerooting project, I actually had to buy red and orange saran hair. I already had purple, blue, green, yellow, and black. So I already had 5 of these 7 colors. I just never needed red or orange for any other projects. They're very specific, vivid colors that I guess Monster High doesn't tend to use that often, but I bring it up because the most recent Hisfits 3-pack with the Torlai, she just has like straight up orange hair, which I love. It's very Halloween. It's like orange, purple, and black, and it's just so wild. But you know, maybe I can repurpose this leftover orange hair I'll have for a future Torlai reroot one day, you know. And I really like it. Like I said, you don't see this hair color often, so it was fun to work with orange, just pure orange, not like neutral, burnt orange or, anything like that. Like just pure orange. And this blended out nicely with the red as well. Really beautiful color, like a red orange, like a burnt orange kind of. And it's really fun for me to blend all these colors as well. So I can it's my own little personal, color guide, like Pantone's almost, I can kind of test and see for future projects, like, ooh, I like these colors blended together. Maybe that'll work for a future project. I'm always thinking ahead of time, very future oriented over here. And the way it worked out is orange is kind of in the center of Frankie's Bump It, which is fine. It's not a big deal. And now we are moving on to yellow. I have this yellow because I previously did a Neon Frights Draculaura reroot that required just a little bit of yellow, so this came in handy. And here I go to blend the yellow and orange together. Now, when you're blending colors that are really, really similar in shade and hue like this, it can be difficult to tell if you've blended them enough. Some colors, it's really easy to tell. Like earlier when I blended the blue and purple together, those are so different from one another that I can really tell when I have a cohesive blend. But for colors like this, and then even later on when I blend the blue and green together, it can be a little bit more difficult. So sometimes I just blend a little bit longer just to make sure that it's really nice and blended evenly. I like a smooth blend for a project like this. You can do chunky blends. It's totally fine. It just depends what you're looking for. But for this project, it calls for a very smooth blend. And there is the yellow-orange color. And then we'll go in with some yellow. And then we'll move on to the next color, which is, red, orange, yellow, green. This green's okay. The green that I use, it's like, there's not a lot of green options in saran hair. And I recently bought this green for my Monster Fest Draculaura reroot. It's kind of bluish already to start with, so it's fine. When I think of green, I think of like grass green, like grass. I don't know, like Crayola, right? This green is more like a little bit more limey to start off with, or I actually can't even really pinpoint how to describe this color, but it's what I'm working with today. And I'm blending the yellow and green, and even these colors also were kind of difficult to tell how well they're blended, but I try my best. Very Sprite coated, right? Lemon lime kind of moment, but this is the whole project, and this took a long time for just this one little section of Frankie's head, right? But I had to repeat this process like 3 or 4 times over to go around the entirety of Frankie's head. So it did take a while, and I knew it was going to take a while, which is kind of why I saved it for last, because it's such a pivotal part of this project. I mean, it's what makes it a Pride LGBTQ plus themed reroot, is that it's rainbow themed. So I really wanted to get it done correctly, and I'm glad. I think I did. I really think I did. Like even here, as you can see it coming to an end, it looks really good. It looks really good next to the black too. Like it reminds me of back in the day, there was like a scratch art where you could like scrape off, I don't know, like this black, I don't know, coat, and then underneath would be like metallic rainbow. It was so fun. I don't know if kids still do that, but I did that as a kid. That's what this project reminds me of. Like the black and rainbow is just such a beautiful color scheme. And I think in the beginning I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do rainbow and it might be tacky. No, this actually is not tacky at all. Like this is actually very tasteful. It looks really good. It's not too in your face. It's very subtle. And I'm very, very proud of this project. Like, oh, proud during Pride Month. There we go. There it is. Boom. But I really am. I'm really proud of it. It looks so good. And we're nearing the end of the rainbow, blending out blue and green. I love a good blue-green turquoise color. It looks so good. And after this color, we will be done. Well, you know, I have to do a lot extra off camera, but for the portion that I wanted to film and show you how to do this, I will be done. And it is tedious. It's in total 13 colors, right? Black plus 12 colors of the rainbow. But I think it's definitely worth it. Like you can see right there, chef's kiss. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Show-stopping, stunning, never been done before. Like, I'm very happy with how this turned out. Okay, I am back and I finished working on my Frankie Stein Custom Pride Reroot. I'm so happy with how they turned out. I did go ahead and just like finish the hairstyle off camera, and I also painted a lot of the accessories off camera as well, but it's okay. I'll show you everything up close so you can see the end results. And once again, all of this was inspired by this outfit from a Rainbow High, Junior High doll. It was Avery Styles. I've always loved the way Rainbow High does the kind of like rainbow stitching detail. I think it's really nice and fun. And this color scheme inspired this whole Pride project. So I think it's fun to take something that you love and then use that as the base for your thoughts and ideas and creativity. And that's exactly what I did today. So let's take a closer look. There is Frankie's hair up close. You can see the rainbow spectrum. We have blue to purple to red to orange, yellow, green, and then back to blue. And that goes all around their entire perimeter of hair. So you can see there's some more rainbow hair there. And then around their whole head, there's rainbow hair there as well. It's like not wanting to capture on camera, I'm sorry. There you go. You can see that beautiful rainbow saran hair. I want to capture it outside too to see what it looks like in like the natural sunlight, because this is just, you know, bad artificial lighting, but I think in natural sunlight it looked gorgeous as well. And it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I kept it long because, you know me, I love my long doll hair. So they're gonna rock the super long rainbow black holographic hair, and I'm just so happy with how it turned out. Like 10 out of 10, one of my favorites. And I'm like a broken record at this point. Every time I do a reroot, I'm like, this one's my favorite. No, that one's my favorite. Wait, this one's my favorite. But like, I mean, not just because it's Pride Month, but like, it really is my favorite. Like, it really is. And I wish Monster High did more like Pride dolls. I know we're getting Welcome Committee Frankie, which is kind of like unofficially their Pride doll, right? Like, it seems very queer-coded with its concept and theming. I actually feel like that doll was probably intended to be part of Fear Book and then probably got separated from Fear Book for whatever reason, probably because, you know, corporate overlords have issues with LGBTQ plus representation still in children's media, which is its own conversation and is so annoying because I hate how certain people have tried to exacerbate LGBTQ plus identities and think that just because something is about gender or sexuality, all of a sudden it's like hypersexualized for whatever reason, even though it's for kids. Like, makes no sense to me. It makes no sense to me. It's just so frustrating and annoying. So even though Monster High does have some LGBTQ plus representation and they are trying to, you know, give us representation, I'm sure there's still a lot of behind the scenes pushback that they're dealing with. So I'm grateful for it, but still very critical because I'm just naturally a critical person, you know? So this is my interpretation of my custom Pride Frankie. I hope you like it. Let me show you some of the accessories up close. I painted their earrings with a silver paint just because, you know, I think silver's pretty nice and it feels classically Frankie. And then I even painted their eye coffin to match this look. It's black. Painted the little heart, and the lightning bolts on the back of the phone case are also painted like in a rainbow color scheme. And then their purse is painted to match the non-binary flag. So, you know, given some different types of LGBTQ plus representation, its paint job is less than stellar. Like, the paint was really streaky. So when you look at it up close, kind of gross, but from afar, Not so bad, huh? And then my favorite detail on this project is the shoes for sure. These shoes in black just look like entirely different shoes. And I wanted some more representation. So on both shoes, there's a nod to the trans flag. We have pink with some white stripes on this side, and then blue with some polka dots on that side. And I love the stitch detailings. And then on the really nice chunky platform, I even did some rainbow lightning bolts in my favorite paint. I swear, I talk about this paint in every video, but it's the Folk Art Dragonfly Glaze. There are 5 colors, and I did all 5 colors, and yeah, it's really nice. It ties into the theming, and I also gave them this sock. It's just the Kylie Jenner, like, fingerless glove that came with one of her dolls, the Kylie Jenner Bratz dolls, and I like it as a sock, so it's my sock for this doll, because I feel like Frankie looks good with some asymmetry, so yeah, I like the whole thing all put together. It's so fun and so cute, and I'm just in love with this project. And like I said, maybe I say that about every project of mine, but like you want to like you want to like the things that you do, right? Like I do these things because it's fun for me, and I want to admire them and enjoy them in my collection. And like I'll talk to my family about it, and they're like, Eli, like you're so talented, like you need to sell these. I'm like, no, I don't want to sell it. Like I'm inspired because I'm doing it for me. Like I'm not serving anyone else but myself, you know, which is a little selfish, but I feel like the moment I start doing like rereading commissions or something, like it's going to become less fun because now I have a deadline, and now, you know, it's less for me and more for someone else, and I probably would have less creative control and freedoms and liberties. It's a whole thing. So I like where I'm at right now with this hobby, where I'm just doing things as passion projects for fun, and I can document it with all of you on YouTube here. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Happy Pride. I love all of my fellow gays and queers out there. Shout out to all of you. And if there's any non-gay people watching this video, thanks for supporting and being a good ally during Pride Month. And also I want to say, I don't feel like I dedicate a lot of time just to recognize my channel, but I want to say thank you to anyone who's liked my videos, watched them, subscribed, commented. I don't always take time to like recognize that, just because I'm always fixated on, you know, making high quality videos and doing the next project and moving on to the next thing. But I want to take some time today just to say thank you. I really truthfully appreciate it so much, more than you probably know. And yeah, my last video did so well for my Skulltimate Secrets dolls, which is always so alarming and surprising, but it's just very nice that people are out there that want to watch and appreciate my thoughts and my videos. So thank you so much. And that is all I have for you today. I'm so excited for the future for this channel because there's so many more fun dolls coming out. Like people found the new G3 Spectra today, so I can't wait till I get my hands on her. I want the Hisfits 3-pack so bad. Entertainment Earth is just sold out of it, so whenever they decide to restock, I'll make a video on them. Yeah, just stay tuned for more fun, exciting projects on this channel. But that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Eli. This is my channel, Jack Elijah, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.